All right, now you're going to saute these veggies until they get nice and tender and the onion's starting to turn golden brown, and you're going to take 2 tablespoons of white flour and you're going to sprinkle them on and stir this in very carefully till it's nice and smooth. This is what they might call a rocks. It's going to help make a nice thick sauce. We'll get this stirred in. We'll let that simmer there for a second. And what we're going to do is we've got a 28-ounce can of whole peeled tomatoes. We've taken and picked out the tomatoes, and all we're going to do is slice them up. Don't drain them, just pick them out with a big fork, and any juice that's with them's fine. You just don't want the whole can's worth of juice. Chop them up some, pour them in that pan, and add 1/4 cup of the additional juice, and give this a nice stir. And this is going to be delicious. This is going to simmer for about 5 minutes, and it is going to be so fabulous and tasty. Now, down here I got me, what do I got? Oh my goodness. I got me a secret. I'm going to take my wonderful soup. If you take a look here at this soup, it's been cooking, it's been bubbling. It is dark and delicious. Can you smell that aroma, John?
Yum, yum.
Boy, this stuff is beautiful. We're going to turn the heat off on it. We're going to let that cool a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to run it through the food processor, get it nicely pureed, and return it back to the pot and bring it up to temperature again. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to let this simmer some. We want to prepare a couple other things. We want to prepare our broccoli florets. We're going to add those wonderful broccoli florets into the pan. All right, stir these in. This pan is going to be, woo, nice and full. Recycle that. Now, get these stirred in. You want this to simmer for about 5 minutes. It will get deliciously thick. It's an outrageous flavor. We're going to add a little salt and pepper to it in a little bit. We're going to shred up some nice cheddar cheese, and we want to prepare some rice. Now, I've got prepared here some Texmati rice. That's a variety of rice that's grown in America. It's a long grain rice. It's absolutely delicious, and it's got a wonderful popcorny flavor. Creole food is always got some rice associated to it somehow or another. Now, why don't we do this? Our soup is cooled down a little bit. We'll take a look. I'm going to put this in the food processor with the chopping blade, and we're going to puree this up. Get all that in there. It is fantastic. This is a real thick soup. We'll give this a nice little spin. Spin that a little more. Now, before I return that to the pan, I'm going to take and put between 1 and 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to take and add 1/8. Now, this is the secret. 1/8 of a teaspoon of crushed, ground, powdered cumin. I'm going to add that in there. Take a look at this wonderful, thick soup. I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to pour this in. Just look at how thick. Don't serve this in big, giant bowls, because then there'll be no room left inside your belly for the main course. Now, we give this a nice stir. Let that cumin and that butter get nicely associated. Bring that back up to serving temperature and take a look in our big saute pan. We've got this simmering now. This simmered. It is wonderfully beautiful. You want to simmer this about 5 minutes. You'll see that the broccoli is starting to turn darker brown, the florets. The big pieces of tomato are breaking down, and we're forming a nice thick sauce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take me a baking dish, and I'm just going to pour this mixture in here. It's absolutely outrageous. You want to get a nice, oh man, can you smell that, John?
Ooh, I sure can.
All right, boy, I'll tell you, these Creole dishes are outrageous. So we'll just scrape the rest of this out of here. You want to get all that nice tomato flavor out. It's absolutely fantastic food. Set this aside. Spread this out in the pan. Now, I've got 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, a sharp New York State cheddar cheese. And what we're going to do is we are generously going to cover the top of this. We're going to have a oven hot to 350 degrees. And we're going to put this in and we are going to bake it until it's bubbling hot and that cheese starts to melt. When we bring this out of the oven, it is going to be outrageous. So I got my little mini oven here. We're going to put this in here. Now, you sit back, you relax. When we come back, we're going to cook with fire. All right. All right, now take a look here at the cutting board. The cheese is all melted. This stuff is outrageous. All we're going to do is take ourselves a nice big plate of rice and scoop some of this wonderful, delicious stuff up on top of that rice. This is outrageous. What a Creole feast. Fantastic. Now, I'm going to show you the soup, but first I'm going to tell you how to get the recipes. If you want to cook this, check out this information. All right, now, we added that cumin and we added some more butter to the soup. Don't serve big portions of this soup because this soup is delicious. It is outrageous. It is thick and filling. Fantastic black-eyed pea soup. So you got a wonderful dish here. You got our broccoli Creole casserole. Woo! And we got our wonderful black-eyed pea soup. Now, one little thing the biker forgot with all the hot peppers, you put 1 tablespoon of garlic when you add the tomatoes in with the peppers and onions so you get that wonderful garlic flavor. I love cooking with you. I hope you enjoy the show. Write in for the recipes, send entries into the contest, and remember, we got to do 3 things. We got to eat hot, we got to ride safe, and Mike and Freeze, what do we got to do?
We're gonna cook with fire.
All right, cook with fire. Oh, boy.